pound and a half, a little heavier than the 10-inch tablet competition that you shouldn't be comparing it to, as I keep re-emphasizing. The point remains that it really does everything extraordinarily well, but it is hindered by the fact that it does have that tablet form factor. So that's where I keep pointing to. It's not for everyone. I do think it fits the critical mold that Microsoft was going here for the one size fits all. There's no question. If you buy this, the only gripe that you could end up having is battery life, but if you realize that it's an Ultrabook, you'll quickly understand that any Ultrabook running Windows 8 right now is not going to give you much more than 5 hours of battery life on average. So this does come in below average, but consider the fact that it's a pound and a half, and it's a tablet. And any other Ultrabook you're going to have is going to be roughly twice the size unless you go for some of those convertible tablet hybrids like the Duo 11, like the Yoga, that really are nothing near to the concept that you're looking at here. Nor do they have this sort of pen input that includes the Duo 11. There's no question the touchscreen on here is superior to what you'll get on the Duo 11. But again, it's going to be about what fits your needs. That's what's great about having all of these different vendors making products, and you're going to find the right Windows 8 experience for your personal preferences, whether that comes down to screen resolution, which this does offer, custom configurations, which a lot of the different manufacturers are offering now, pen input. There are so many different things to sell you on different products that will be tailored to your needs. That's not what Surface Pro is all about. Surface Pro is about making a product that everyone can enjoy, and I think this has been accomplished. Again, the only gripe is battery life, but you've got to make it relative to competition, and right now, at least with what Intel has inside of these devices, I can't blame Microsoft for the battery issue, because it's not really an issue, it's just a wall hit by the current architecture that they're dealing with. So once Haswell's here, sometime towards the end of 2013, probably just the next generation of this tablet, we will have a winner that isn't just a game changer, everyone will actually want to buy. Whereas this one, as I keep mentioning, the ergonomics prevent me from being able to tell you guys that I could see myself using this as a business machine. It's more of an entertainment machine that happens to be able to do everything that a business machine needs to be able to do, at least under the hood, but can't necessarily execute in a comfortable manner. So really like what Microsoft has done here. Don't have anything negative to say other than what I've pointed out to you guys today, right now. In terms of overall performance, just again, really blown away. I'm going to show you a little bit of web browsing here just so you can see everything is completely smooth. There is absolutely nothing to complain about. In terms of how I'd compare this to the Duo 11, which I've been using daily, they're pretty much on par, but this does seem to edge it out a little bit. And considering it's running on 4 gigs of RAM rather than 6, I've also used the Duo 11 with 8. That does have somewhat of an appreciable difference in performance, I would say, since you are doubling the RAM from this. But whether it's the quality of this screen or just the drivers that have been thrown on here, baked in by Microsoft, since again, head to toe, this is their product, it is their baby, everything just works really well. Let me go ahead and load up, well, I could just refresh the page. Let's go for that. Tried to do that lefty, but I am a righty. Now I've taken us off screen. You can see that the refresh was very, very quick. Better off using my fingers, I think. A little bit of a reach to use the pen, but you guys can see the speed. Speed is not a question here. If you're wondering about speed, forget about wondering. This is a performer head to toe, even though the specs can be outdone by much of the competition. But that's where, as I keep mentioning, it's a matter of personal preference. This is a one-size-fits-all product, in my opinion, and most of you are going to be happy as long as you live with that battery life, as I've mentioned 2 or 3 times. So this is the update thus far. Really liking what I see out of this tablet. Audio quality also really good, no issues with performance at all, and really just one of the best made pieces of technology that I've seen hit the market. Not surprised it sold out, but I can tell you guys right now that inventories are really low, so hopefully demand is there and Microsoft will keep making it. Another thing I want to point out, the pen, as much as I do like it, the magnetic connection, which allows you to attach it to the right side of the tablet, is a novel idea, but unfortunately it does not stay connected. So keep that in mind. It does get knocked off really easily. I could see this going in and out of a bag and the pen constantly falling off. So that's something for you guys to consider. As I again minimized that when I was just trying to do a refresh. Let's do a refresh on Engadget right here. And you can see I'm nowhere near my router, and you guys know how many tablets I go through, how many Ultrabooks, how many hybrids. This really does make everything else look like it's in another class. That's not to say that the others don't perform really well. They do. I still see myself choosing the Duo 11 over this just because it's a more complete package than the Surface Pro, but that's a matter of personal preference, and like I said, just ability to use the machine for what you personally want to get accomplished, whether it's for play, personal use of business, whatever it may be. There's a product out there. So that's the good news. There are a lot of different options, but Surface Pro really isn't going to disappoint. Very happy with it. I do recommend going with the 128 gig version, as I mentioned in the unboxing, because that's definitely the better bang for the buck. You're paying a $100 difference to double the usable storage space, even though it isn't all usable, as I mentioned, since Windows 8 does take up a substantial amount of your drive. So definitely go with the 128 gig version, even though it is pricier up there at that $1,000 price point. Still recommend it. And if you're on the fence, definitely consider the other options. And if you can wait until the next generation, I can assure you this is one of the best first generation products I've ever seen, so I can only imagine what Microsoft will do at the next level. I would liken this to what they've done with Xbox. They hung in there, they waited, they weren't the first to market. In fact, many of us thought they were too late. Not quite sure what the RT experiment really was all about. I know why they wanted to do it, but this is really where it's at, and in a year from now, I think this is their next Xbox 360 in terms of success rate. I think they have the ability to knock everyone out of the box with tablets if they play their cards right. So again, really like the Surface Pro. Full-featured, not quite full-featured to be a complete machine, but it does do everything that you could possibly need, at least in a 1.5-pound Ultrabook that really tries to forget about compromise. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.